Ladies and gentlemen, now apologies that I'm a little bit late to this party. I was out yesterday with the family and those lads over at Kabam decided, hey, why don't we leak our champion spotlights for the buffed up versions of Falcon and Gambit. Now today we're starting off with Falcon because Falcon is the one that I'm personally most excited for. I love Falcon. I've done all sorts of like weird stuff over the years with Falcon, but he's always been one of the biggest noodles in the entire game. However, I think with this update to the character, he's got the potential to be one of the best evade counters and also damage output champions in the entire game, and also just overall a very solid character to bring to most team scenarios. So yeah, Falcon is looking really good. Kind of my expectation tier list wise for this update is minimum high demigod tier, but he may have some god tier or solid god tier potential. I think with the numbers I don't really see any beyond god tier potential, but he's looking pretty damn good. So let's talk about some of the changes to Falcon and also like the differences between current Falcon and also the buffed up version. So his recon scan is having two very important updates. So the first one is the time to scan the opponent is being reduced from 2 seconds to 1.2, and this is really big because 1.2 is just a very easy interval to either like parry and dash back or like bait out a heavy attack, dash back, hold block, and then scan your opponent. And then once you lock onto the opponent, it's been increased from 10 seconds base to 14 seconds. So while lock on is active, and lock on is so powerful in its current state, but again it only lasts 10 seconds and it takes 2 seconds to scan. So it's kind of very impractical currently for a lot of matchups, but still can work if you're a very skilled player. But these changes are going to make it so much more practical for the wider majority of scenarios. And lock on is ridiculously powerful because it reduces the opponent's defensive ability accuracy while active by 100%. So stuff like evade thorns, Corgan things rock stacks, magic's limbo. There's probably about 100 nodes that it just completely negates in the entire game as well. It's really powerful. And he's going to have insane uptime because also with the awakened ability it adds on an additional 2 seconds, and also they've buffed the bonus against science champions to have an additional 40% duration. So if you've just got him awakened Sig 1, that's 22.4 seconds that he's going to be locked on for, and pretty much cancelling out the opponent's defensive ability accuracy unless they have a node which is enhancing it. So yeah, really strong. But the big thing with the revamp as well is they've reduced the cooldown to 8 seconds, and also he gains a massive attack bonus while he's locked on as well of 130% of his base attack. So on a fully maxed out 5-star, this is just over 3,000 additional attack, and there are also additional damage bonuses on top of that, and stuff that allows his damage to multiply even more. But yeah, I'm really excited, man. That is a huge attack bonus there. Now, on top of that massive 130% attack bonus, we also got to factor in his awakened ability, which at Sig 200 provides almost 1,200 additional crit rating. So that increases the chance for you to land critical hits. So currently, fully maxed out, I think it's about 400 on the fully maxed out 5-star. So it's been tripled in terms of its effectiveness, and its base crit rating, you can see here, is just over 700, and that's a 27% chance to land a critical hit. So I think with the 1,200 additional crit rating, again, there is a sense of diminishing returns as well. I think it brings it kind of around the region of 40 to 50% chance to crit while he's locked onto the opponent. So yeah, with a massive attack bonus, man, you're going to be seeing a lot of crits off this guy when he's locked on. So yeah, that's really good. But on top of that as well, there are huge bonuses to his crit damage rating in evade matchups. So when you have the opponent locked on, all the evades are going to fail on your opponent, so it's going to completely bypass the evade. But every single time your opponent either evades or fails to trigger an evade, you get a bonus crit damage rating of 134 that lasts indefinitely and just keeps on stacking up and up. So in high evade scenarios, like if you're fighting the Mixmaster node or the Can't Touch This node, or you've just got evade proccing like all over the place, this is going to stack up very quickly and very aggressively. And with the massive bonus to attack and also the massive bonus to crit chance as well, all of this stuff is going to merge together to make some pretty spicy numbers. And it kind of looks like with the The way that you want to play Falcon as well, he's going to be very friendly toward the suicide masteries. You might need like Nick Fury or a little bit of potions to offset it, because again, he has no like immunity to either one, but it doesn't look like he's reliant on spamming like special 1 or special 2, and it looks like in longer matchups you would probably ideally want to go for the special 3 as well. So yeah, it could be very, very good with the suicide masteries on top of that. And we also got to talk about the attack bonuses potential from the synergies as well, because that for Falcon could be really, really crazy. So there's just a lot of damage stuff that kind of weaves together that makes me like quite excited to test him out, man. Again, we haven't had access to him on the content creator program, but I'm seeing like a lot of potential damage wise for Falcon. So yeah, via special attacks, if you're locked on, you gain bonus effects, and again with your specials, man, you want to make sure you're locked on before you fire them off. And the special attack 1, we've now got a guaranteed bleed. I think the bleed damage, I don't know if it's been increased by a little bit as well, but it still has the same 3.5 second duration, so it gains massive benefit from the deep wounds mastery. But if you have him locked on as well, you get an additional bleed. Now the bleed damage is actually probably being increased overall from what it is currently by almost about 5 times, because first off you have the 130% fury kind of multiplying the damage, and then you're doubling that as well. So yeah, his bleed damage off the special 1 is going to be a lot more spicy than it is currently. So yeah, I'm excited for that, man, because this bleed damage is okay at the moment, but if it's like times 5, I imagine that's going to be really, really good. And on the special attack 2, you remove all of your opponent's physical resistance, but also if you're locked on, you gain additional crit damage rating during the attack, and the second hit is guaranteed to be a crit. So yeah, this could be a very, very nice number. However, I think for longer fights and scenarios, if you can't kill the opponent with a special 2, you probably want to go for the special 3, because you get the Incinerate debuff, dealing energy damage over 10 seconds, so a nice bit of bonus damage there, again going to be amplified by the attack of being locked on. And then if you are locked on as well, you inflict a 25-second vulnerability debuff, which grants additional crit damage rating by 800. So even in scenarios where the opponent isn't evading, this is still going to be a massive booster to your crit damage, which again is going to synergize very well with the massive attack booster and also the increased crit chance from the awakened ability. But also you get a 25%, 50% reduction to block proficiency, and if like both of these stack as well, which I'm not too sure if they do actually, but you've got the Incinerate for 10 seconds, which reduces block proficiency by 50%, and also the vulnerability, which reduces block proficiency by 50%. I know there are like, what is it, certain, I think invade paths in Act 7, where you can deal like massive damage into the block. So yeah, this actually might be really, really good for those scenarios as well. So I'm curious to see how that turns out, man. But yeah, that could be a very interesting combo for kind of nuking into the opponent's block there as well, in certain matchups where you want to get block damage through. So yeah, this seems a bit interesting, but the special 3 again is going to have a lot of value due to that bonus crit damage rating there. And again, we got the awakened ability, which even at Sig 1 extends the duration of lock on by 2 seconds, so just having him awakened is going to provide a nice bonus. But again, the more Sig levels you have, the more crit rating you have, and I think that's going to be quite important if you really want to get the most out of Falcon. However, next up we got the synergy bonuses. So we've got one first off, and this one's quite curious actually. So he's got teammates bonus with Thor Ragnarok and also coming soon character. So his base ability as well gives 3% attack rating to all of these synergies, and I imagine in the spotlight these are like factored in as well, so it's like armor and also the 3% attack rating. So yeah, I'm not too sure who that second character is. Maybe Valkyrie. I know like Gabe has teased at Valkyrie before, so yeah, maybe she's going to be coming, but I would imagine she's probably coming with the next Thor movie, but I may be incorrect there. Also got an enemies with War Machine, Black Widow, and one with Vision and Black Panther, so you get crit rating and also the attack as well. Also got a rivals one with Ant-Man and Hawkeye, so you get 6% perfect block chance and also 3% attack rating. Now this one and the next one are very interesting. So you've got Nemesis with Cull Obsidian, Ebony Maw, and also Idol with Captain America Infinity War, Captain America, and Captain America World War II. Now, I'm thinking if these synergies work the way that they do currently, they can stack up, and there's nothing in the spotlight saying that they're unique synergies and can't stack up. So you've got a 9% attack rating one with Cull Obsidian, and let's say you've also got 7% additional attack with Captain America Infinity War. So if you got the 5-star and 6-star Falcon in the team, that is 32% bonus attack. You can also have Cull in the team, and also Captain America Infinity War. Again, great champions, but also you could maybe have like then the character you want to boost up by 32% attack. But the crazy thing is for Falcon, if these synergies do stack as well, you can have the 4-star, 5-star, and 6-star Falcon. So that is a total of I think it's 48% attack, because if you have like both of these nodes proccing on 3 Falcons there, man, that is going to be 48% attack. That is so ridiculously big. So yeah, I'm very interested to try that team synergy to see if we can really you know, pump up Falcon to a pretty ridiculous level just for a little bit of fun. But yeah, if you're like a Falcon diehard, man, that could be a very crazy synergy setup for him. But also, he could potentially open up, I think, the highest attack team support synergy in the entire game as well. Like, the synergies do look really nuts. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. But also, I think he might slot in quite nicely in certain like questing teams as well for the future, because again, Captain America Infinity War and Cull Obsidian, they're not bad characters, they're very good. So yeah, I'm curious to see like how this champion and his synergies do get used, but he's offering like massive attack bonuses that potentially could stack up with like multiple copies of Falcon as well. So yeah, I'm a little bit curious, a little bit intrigued by that one, and they do suggest some recommended masteries here. So obviously Deep Wounds to get more damage off his bleed on the special one, and also Double Edge. They do say that he is really good with the suicide masteries, and if you do bring in Nick Fury and Deadpool, again, you can get that removal of the bleed at the start and conversion into a bit of regeneration there. So you're still going to have to contend with the poison damage, which can be kind of offset by willpower to a certain extent as well. So yeah, overall, man, I think it's going to be really quite spicy. I think by far the most powerful thing as well is lock-on is so valuable. Again, this is pre-buff, this is not buffed Falcon gameplay here, but we showed him like 2 seconds to lock on. Again, very slow currently, so it's going to be much quicker in the future. But as soon as you get him locked on, you just ignore like everything on the opponent, man. It's really quite special, and it's one of the reasons that Blade was like such a dominant character for so long, is because so many characters in this game he just completely ignored the mechanics of, mainly when it came to villains and mystic champions. But again, Falcon has the ability to lock on and reduce the defensive ability accuracy of any champion in the entire game, and can even apply to mutants. Granted, it is 20% less duration on mutants, but I still think he's going to be a really good option for matchups like Nightcrawler as well, especially with all of the bonuses that he's getting via his crit damage, lock on, evade, failing mechanic. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. But also, like, looking at the science class as well, you know, these are the characters that he's going to gain what is it, a 22.4 second lock-on duration, because that 40% bonus. And I think characters like Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Thing as well, I reckon he's going to be really good for. MODOK, like, potentially, after that special 3-man, could have some crazy damage into the block, going to counter characters like Electro. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he can counter Ant-Man and also Abomination. I'm not too sure if ability accuracy reduction like prevents Ant-Man's suit from triggering, but if he does, he's going to be a really good Ant-Man counter, arguably one of the best in the entire game. Also going to be really good for Mr. Fantastic, because he can just counter the evade there. Also good for Void, because Void can't apply the debuffs with defensive ability accuracy reduction. So yeah, I think there are going to be so many really like annoying science matchups that he's just going to be an amazing counter for. But yeah, don't sleep on the Falcon buff. I'm very excited for it. Hopefully it kind of matches my expectations, because again, my expectations, I would say, are not like crazy high, but they're fairly high when it comes to the Falcon buff. I think he's going to be so much better than he is currently, and have some potential to dish out some pretty nasty damage as well. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section below what you think of the Falcon buff, and if you did enjoy today's breakdown, please do smash that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. But aside from that, thank you all very much for watching, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.